Welcome to the live session, and today's topic is company accounts, and that is for CS executive. So we are joined by the subject matter expert Vishwas. So Vishwas is our faculty at Ekcel, and Vishwas will be sharing all the tips relating to accounts. So Vishwas, before we already have some people joining in. So Chittaranjan Reddy, you are joining us for every session. Great. So we have already Vignesh, we have Rohini. Okay, welcome to the session. So Vishwas, accounts is one subject which students feel that it is very difficult. So it is, even students tell either you get above 60 or it is very difficult to even pass. So now there are some students who have still not touched the book, or they feel that preparation is very less. So the first question is, what are the most important chapters in accounts? Suppose if I start studying today also, you tell me some chapters which will be good enough for me to go and at least pass the exam.
Okay, we should first know that company accounts and auditing both put together, it's for 100 marks.
Yes.
In company accounts, the questions will be asked for 70 marks. Correct. And for auditing 30 marks.
And the auditing is fully theory, right?
Auditing is fully theory, of course, whereas in accounts we have both practicals
Theory
as well as
practicals. Okay.
When it comes to accounts, I would say, if you haven't touched the book at all, first start with consolidation. A compulsory question, then amalgamation.
Okay.
So usually those two would be asked together. I mean, corporate restructuring, actually the chapter name is corporate restructuring.
Yes.
That includes amalgamation as well as internal reconstruction.
Okay.
Institute usually will either ask amalgamation or internal reconstruction. One question from that chapter will be there for sure. So we have already covered two chapters here. One is corporate restructuring, the other is consolidation. Both put together, you will at least get about 15 marks of questions. Okay. That's for sure. There is no doubt about that. Then what else do we have? Apart from consolidation and amalgamation, what we can think of is the debenture chapter.
Okay.
So in case of debentures, we will definitely get about 6 to 9 marks of questions.
6 to 9.
6 to 9 for sure. And we have share capital as well. That is for about 5 marks, share capital. So we have already 15 marks in consolidation and amalgamation, 6 to 9 marks in debentures. We are touching 25 already. Then about 5 marks from share capital. Then the other important chapter is valuation.
Okay, valuation.
Valuation, again a compulsory question will be there from valuation for about 6 to 7 marks. So we are around 33 to 35 now. So, and about other topics, I would say there will be some theory questions as well from here and there. I mean, it could be based on accounting standards for 5 marks. Then there will be questions based on share capital, like sometimes they will ask profit prior to incorporation, then underwriting, all those things. But to bring it down to the simple basic facts, what I would say is study consolidation, study amalgamation and internal reconstruction, then valuation, and on top of that, company final accounts.
Okay.
If you are able to study these 4 chapters from now on, I am sure you can touch at least about 40 with the help of auditing.
Yes. So in fact, Chittaranjan, in auditing, which are the most important, sir?
Okay, when it comes to auditing, I would say first chapter, that is introduction to auditing, the auditing concepts.
Yes. Then
types of audit, that is the second chapter, and the last chapter, which is audit documentation. So if you are able to study these 3 chapters, because more than 60% of the auditing questions comes from these 3 chapters only. So if you do not have the time, of course, if you are starting now, obviously you do not have the time, I would say just cover these 3 topics.
Okay, fine.
So that should be.
So now you told the important chapters, but can we cover it in this number time, because hardly 1 week is there? Can we cover it?
I am very sure you can. In fact, we have an online course by Ekcel Academy in which we have covered the entire syllabus in about 21 hours.
Okay.
20 hours. If you do not have time, I would heartily recommend our course.
Yes, yes.
So it won't take much time. And even if you are just going through these 3 topics or these 4 topics, it's very easy to cover them. It won't take much time at all.
Can I rely completely on theory and not at all on practical questions?
That would be very risky, I would say, because in the total 100 marks, about 30 marks we know is from auditing. That means completely theory. Then about out of 70, at least about 25 marks will be for theory questions.
25.
So that means around 50 to 55 marks will be for theory. But if you are relying only on theory, I am very sure you won't get more than 30 for sure. Because in theory it's very difficult to score marks. It's not as easy as scoring marks in practicals.
So what I can suggest here, because my background is law and CS, so accounts was definitely a little more difficult subject as compared to law subjects for me.
Right.
So for us, we didn't have auditing, but theory they used to ask almost 40 to 50 marks theory. So almost now also it is pretty much the same. So what I would concentrate is to do very well in theory to get 30-35 marks, and in the practicals somehow out of 50 I used to ask myself, is it difficult to get 15 out of 50?
Correct.
Definitely not difficult.
Yeah.
And I'm very sure in CS they don't cut marks if your final answer is wrong. If your steps, they do give marks for steps.
Sure.
So for someone like me who did not study BCom, who was from law background, if I can write, definitely even you can write. So you don't have to worry about that. What if I don't get the answer correctly?
Correct.
You do get marks for steps.
Add to that, what I can say is, recently one of our students got the paper from the institute. I just went through her paper and she has secured about 28 marks. Whatever marks she has secured is only out of theory.
Okay.
So if someone can, and she attempted for about 50 marks. 50 to 60 marks of theory.
So if you attempted for 100, you'll go 45.
Yeah, easily. 45. If you had attempted for practical, if she had done that, I am sure it should have easily passed.
Yes.
So your theory should be very good.
Yes.
That I should stress on, because just because you are attempting the theory questions doesn't mean that you will get marks. Just make sure that you code the proper sections while you are answering the questions, and then if you can answer at least about couple of practical questions, you should be easily able to pass, and maybe even get 50.
Exactly. So that is what you should concentrate on. So then we come to again